first of all, for singing like a band of angels along with Ron's wonderful accompaniment. We definitely raised the vibration with that. It's an old spiritualist tune, I think, that most of us have come along with over the years. So I'm grateful for that. I'm going to try to pull this all together. I do channel from spirit, and from time to time they bounce me around because, believe it or not, they actually want to play a significant part in our life, in our worship, and they always have something that they want to get across to us, some pretty important point they'd like to make. So, seeing as this is August, and I know Marilyn Autry spoke this month on one of our early pioneers, we do like to accord them the recognition that they deserve because they have brought us along the way to this point. But I'm not going to bore you with too long of a history lesson, but it does bear some significance on our life. But first of all, I'd like to ask if we could just pause for a moment before we begin and recognize the transition of a true American hero, and our flag will be put in the appropriate position after the service today for Senator John McCain. And I know a lot of us disagree on our political beliefs from time to time, and that's what makes us all very strong, independent, free will thinking Americans, and for that is a blessing. But that man devoted his whole life to our country, and just on that basis alone, I would like to just pause for a minute, just a moment of silence, and bless him along his way in his transition. If we could just pause for a moment. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so back to what we're here for. I'm not going to bore you with a long, history lesson, but out of respect for one of our early spiritualist pioneers, he was born this month, August 11th, in 1824. I do have to acknowledge him, and I know a lot of people, they're not, as you grow older, you don't want to pay attention to your birthdays and all that, but I believe people should celebrate their birth month. I'm in favor of celebrating the whole month of my birth. And my husband's birthday is actually in August 1st, and I told him, well, okay, this is your month. I'll let you have whatever you want. You can get away with, all this, whatever, because it's your birth month. So he was born August 11th, 1824, Andrew Jackson Davis, born in Blooming Grove, Orange County in the state of New York. He was known for many impressive things throughout his long life, but what has always impressed me the most was his devotedness to the development of the Children's Lyceum. And he was quoted as saying, "The Lyceum is an inspiration. That is to say, it is an idea which was found to have expression in the Summerland, and we desire to realize on earth as far as possible the music and harmony of the heavens. Groups of young people are representative of family circles and progressive communities." He was also known for saying, "Behold, here is thy magic staff. Under all circumstances, keep an even mind. Take it, try it, walk with it, talk with it, lean on it, believe on it forever. He lived to the age of 83. And we, as part of the modern American spiritualist movement, owe him a lot for the role he played in our development. So, what exactly is this spiritualism that we talk about? You want to truly understand this process of living a spiritual life. You want to truly absorb all it entails. So once more, I come before you, along with Spirit, with another interpretation of our modern-day spiritualism. Through the lifelong process of my own self-education, my search continues. I have before me more wisdom from a learned man, the Reverend Simeon Stephanodakis, nice Greek name, of the First Spiritual Temple, the Search for Spiritualism. He begins by asking, what is a spiritualist church? And I am quoting him, well, I guess all churches, temples, synagogues, and mosques are spiritualist in nature, because all houses of worship are supposed to be places from which the message and inspiration of higher spirit can come forth. So also it is recorded that Jesus of Nazareth appeared 11 times after his death. He died in the flesh and resurrected in the spirit, thus demonstrating the reality of ancient spiritualism. So this belief didn't just come about recently. It's apparently been around for thousands of years. Archaeologists have uncovered inscriptions as early as 3800 BC on tablets that show belief in ghosts and spirits. Spiritualism focuses on three major concepts. There is personal and conscious survival of bodily death. Death itself is the transition from one realm of awareness in life to another. And communication of some form between this world of ours and the world of spirit is possible, provided that certain conditions prevail. These are familiar concepts to us, but how have we gotten to this point of understanding? I and many others here have found that the study of spiritualism is truly a lifelong pursuit. This knowledge we formally attained is wonderful, something which the serious student should always strive forward in search of. But do you believe having this acquired knowledge is truly enough? Never. For I and many others believe that once the objective facts of spiritualism are mastered, as if they can be, the absolutely fascinating process of transformation must then begin. That transformation is a process whereby knowledge becomes digested, assimilated, and synthesized into wisdom. That's a pretty fancy way of saying, after you've done all your book learning, it's time to put it into action. Spirit asks that the use of that knowledge in order to further the unfoldment of soul qualities for the benefit of self and others now comes about. Or as a lot of our spirit guides tell us, in service to others. Always. That's why we're here. And once we as humans understand this basic concept in regard to spiritualism, then the beauty of the religion comes about for us to truly see. And others see it in us as well. And they want to understand it and want it in their lives also. So in this regard, we become teachers, as many have gone before us and continue from the higher side to educate us. It is now our responsibility to bring forth this God-sanctioned light and unfoldment to our fellow brothers and sisters. So, here we are in this beautiful spiritualist church on an August Sunday morning. We are free to worship as we choose because of our true American heroes that have given us and fought for our God-given rights in this country. We are free to explore and learn and develop as we choose. We are the face of spiritualism, a religion that's an open invitation to explore this life and beyond. Bear with me here because this is all, okay. This brings us to another realization. We all come from different, although at times similar, backgrounds. Our life experiences obviously have not all been the same. We've traveled different paths along life's way, but for some reason, known only to infinite intelligence or God, here we are on Sunday morning in a spiritualist church. I don't know, honestly, how I got here. I'm here, and I was led here somehow, some way, and I can honestly say that I truly feel that I belong here. And if you're here, I feel you've been led here as well. I've found the place that I can ask whatever questions I want to ask. Absolutely no one here is going to look at me and shake their head and ask, why am I asking about such a thing? I can bring up any belief I have. No one will shun me. No one will tell me I'm stark raving mad or Looney Tunes. They'll actually tell me their point of view on the subject and possibly join in on the discussion and expand upon the theory. This is that place. This is the place for people like me that are open to belief in the unknown. Inquiring minds want to know, right? I have my beliefs. You have yours. Mine aren't any more rational or irrational than yours. This is America. We stand for something. First of all, freedom of religion. I can believe in any form of religion I care to, and you can't stop me. Vice versa. You can come in here in a burqa, a veil, dressed as a shaman, and sit and listen to me. Then we can go back in the fellowship hall and sit, and I'll listen to you. What you tell me may not resonate with me as it does with you, but I truly respect your right to believe as you do. You may leave and never come back, or you may leave and take something with you that may cause your own mind to question something you didn't before, and you might come back. So here we are on Sunday morning in August in a spiritualist church. Will you learn learn something today? Will you pass on information to someone that you heard here today? Will you be brave enough to come back? Are you curious about why we were all led here? Who guided you here today? And I don't mean GPS, Google, or Siri, or anybody. But more importantly, will you be led back here soon? Is there something here that calls you in some way? Whether it be curiosity or a thirst for more knowledge than what you've come across before. Will you come back and teach us another aspect of a theory that we present in our classes here at the church? We welcome you. We welcome discussion with you. We are open and willing to listen to you as you have us. We're eager to pass on what we've experienced. And we all have stories to tell. We all have had experiences that have led us here. Eager to pass on what Spirit has to say. We are the mediums, the ones in the middle, the voice of Spirit that we can all learn so much from. But are you open-minded enough to listen and hear what Spirit has to say? Or are you going to be like a horse and put blinders on and just only see what you've heard before and cannot imagine to be true what you've heard here? That's why I'm here this Sunday. I hand the baton to you to pass on the information to another in need of this. Spirit does pass on blessings of the infinite to everyone gathered here today. And please take a moment to remember those that have gone before us and led us in this direction to this beautiful religion of openness and constant knowledge that we can attain, and it never ends. Even as we make our transition to the other side, we will have the opportunity to continue to grow. We will not stagnate and wither to dust. That is not the way of eternal life. And Spirit brings this information to us today to remind us of the importance to constantly search and seek knowledge and educate ourselves in what is to come. So do not fear the religion. Embrace it for everything it can bring to you and your loved ones. Thank you.